Hi everybody, Katie here, head coach at ReOrigin, where we teach you how to retrain your brain and reclaim your health. I'm here with our co-founder, Ben, and we're going to talk about the top 5 ways to activate your vagus nerve to reduce anxiety. Before we get into those 5 techniques though, Ben, tell us, why are we activating our vagus nerve anyway?
Okay, well first of all, maybe we should say what is a vagus nerve,
Yes,
right?
let's talk about
We hear
that.
a lot of talk these days about the vagus nerve, and basically the vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve, the longest nerve that comes from the brain that runs through your entire body, and it regulates different organs and systems. And sometimes if we find that we have become overwhelmed or on high alert, then this nerve can activate certain organs and accelerate things like the beating of the heart. It can make us feel tension in our muscles. And so when we talk about ways to activate the vagus nerve, what we're really talking about is ways to activate it in such a way that actually calms down the nervous system. So it's kind of unique because most of the time when we think about activation, we think of increasing something, but here we are trying to activate this nerve to increase, in a sense, what's known as our parasympathetic function. And you can think of that as the word parachute, designed to slow you down and bring you back down to a healthy, calm baseline.
I love it. And that's why we're going to teach you a few ways to do it in order to reduce your anxiety anytime you're experiencing it. So first way, and actually probably my favorite way, is humming, or what's called bee's breath. And the reason those are really helpful in activating vagus nerve is because your vagus nerve, it comes all the way down from your brainstem, and it essentially runs in front and behind of your throat. So when you're humming or when you're buzzing like a bee, it's going to vibrate the muscles in that area, which then activates vagus nerve. So super simple, you could hum your favorite song, or if you have little kids, maybe buzz around the house like a bee with them. That's gonna be really, really helpful for activating that vagus nerve and chilling you out a little bit.
This is something I like to do every morning, is just when I wake up first thing before I even get out of bed, I just like to hum and kind of let it resonate there.
Yeah.
And you can kind of experiment with different pitches, different tones, and you'll see that different ways of humming, different sort of notes, kind of get a different resonance and will actually make you feel a little bit more calm. So it's something you can experiment with.
Yeah, it's a great one. And after that, you touched on this just a little bit when you like to, when you get out of bed in the morning, is a physiologic sigh, or something in the yoga community is called lion's breath. So essentially kind of forcing yourself to sigh, forcing yourself to take a nice deep breath in and just let everything out when the air comes out. So it might sound something like deep breath in and then big ol' and really like exaggerate it a little bit. And again, that's going to vibrate those muscles around the vagus nerve. And also it might make you laugh a little bit too, because it's kind of dramatic. It's great.
Also good. So the next one is gargling. So this you can do with, room temperature, lukewarm water, but basically we're all familiar with what it is. We're not going to demonstrate it here for obvious reasons, but you just take a big sip of water and tilt your head back and you gargle. And so far, all of these different ways, this physiologic sigh or lion's breath, humming, gargling, the one thing that they have in common is that we're basically using sound and sound waves or vibrations to create a resonance that stimulates the vagus nerve around the neck. So these are all different ways that you can do that very effectively, and just try it out and see which way you like best that works for you.
Yeah, I love it. That's such a great one. If you don't want to gargle, you can also use cold water. I would recommend cold water, especially, to splash your face with, right? So maybe if you're at a loud restaurant, you're feeling a little overstimulated, you could go into the bathroom, take a nice deep physiologic sigh, and then just splash your face with cold water. And that's going to get all those cranial nerves activated, helping you calm down.
Yeah. And so in that vein, there's different ways to activate the nerves. We talked about these vibrations, but we can also use things like cold exposure. And these next 2 ways are going to be actually sort of a manual manipulation. So one of them that I really like to do a lot is self-massage. And as Katie mentioned, the vagus nerve runs laterally along both sides of the neck. So what I like to do is take my which fingers are these? The index fingers, we'll say, and run them just behind the ear bone. And starting at the top, you can give yourself a little bit of pressure and you can work your way down the sides of the neck and jaw. This is so good because we often hold a lot of tension in the jaw. We're not even really aware that it's there until we start massaging it. We can even combine certain things, right? We can let out a bit of a sigh while we're doing this. And as you work your way down the sides of the neck, you'll feel a lot of that tension start to drift away. And that's a manual way of activating the vagus nerve.
Yeah. And number 5, which is also a manual way, is to do some tapping. So like we said, the vagus nerve, it runs all the way down into your abdominal contents, all the way, it's serving everywhere down there. So it runs behind your chest bone, your breastbone, your sternum. And so just gentle tapping, nice and slow in that area, can also help gently activate that vagus nerve as well.
Yeah. And so there's some really cool apps and things out there. One of them that I always recommend is called Basic Anatomy number 5. I guess they're on the 5th generation. But they show you really in depth what's going on in our bodies. And when you look at a map, or an app in this case, that shows you where the vagus nerve runs, it kind of helps you not only do these types of exercises more effectively, especially if you're trying to tap on different areas of, say, your face, your neck, your sternum, even your arms and sides of your body, but it also, I think, helps you develop, in a way, a closer relationship with your body, because you can look at a chart of where the vagus nerve is, and then you can start to interact with it and feel what impact that's having on you. So all of these are basically what we consider to be some of the top 5 and most fun ways to activate the vagus nerve. Experiment with it, see what works best for you. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. One of our favorite things about doing these YouTube videos is you guys and the great ideas and questions that you bring to the table. So when you share what works well for you, that gives inspiration and insight to others, and we really appreciate it. So see you in the next video.